going on? It is your boy Brandon Groce, and we're here to do something a little different. You guys already know me as the Hype Beast here on Instagram, and we are going to do something a little different, and we're going to walk through an amazing designer's process. You guys tell me a lot. You're like, Brandon, you have some amazing stuff on your feed, but I want to know how to make this shit. So we have something cool for you today. So we're gonna take a look at something that I came across just this last week that absolutely stunned me, and I want to bring to you guys so you guys can take a look at my man Kaylor Edwards. He has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Does amazing work, both UI, UX, and Adobe XD quality content, so you guys can get a little bit of an understanding of how masters do their work. All right, so with that said, without any further ado, let's take a look at his work and let me add some of my juicy commentary. Look at that marshmallow. Ooh, let's see. You cutting it out, getting in there nice and good. All right, I see you. All right, Kaylor. Boom, head is out, let's go. I love this music. Just get me. So one thing I really like about Kaylor and his way of showing his work is that he doesn't just go about doing, a full page design that takes like an hour or whatnot. He does very in-depth tutorials on YouTube, and I think he has an amazing quality and depth in what he teaches other designers. So I'd really implore you guys to check this out. So right here, he's trying to take out the head. Obviously, this seems like it's going to be a larger piece of, or at least a big important piece of whatever design he's putting together. And if you guys did not see before, this is the breakdown of the larger design that we showed you in the beginning. So now he's cutting out the entire body of Marshmallow. Awesome. He's got the head cut out. Looks like he's cropping it out, pulling it in from Photoshop into Adobe XD. Awesome. He pulled the head in there so he can kind of get that, position that he wanted for himself. Got some nice white and yellow going on. Oh, look at that drop shadow. Just divine. Looks like he's going with the black, getting his columns set up so he can get his hierarchy and the navigation set up. He's getting a little wireframing in here. And guys, as we always talk about in my Instagram videos, if you guys haven't checked that already, it is very important to, before you dive into any sort of in-depth design or any critical decisions in your design, get all the ideas, the good, the bad, the ugly, out on the paper immediately so that you can get a good sense of the decisions that you will be making and not have to constantly change things as things develop more high fidelity down the road. I love that he chose the marshmallowy font. We have two calls to action. He's now bringing in some assets from the internet, getting some social media icons in there, and he's using that white as a tertiary or secondary color. Yellow seems to be primary, and you have that black and white as a secondary tertiary. Tertiary is a really hard word to even say. As you guys know, there's always this conversation between ghost buttons. Do you need primary, secondary buttons? How can we have your user, your customer who's on your website, able to distinguish what is the action that they want to take? And obviously, it seemed like he said, okay, well, there doesn't need to be two buttons here. We're just gonna do one, and we're just gonna have it be really simple. We want one action to be taken by our customer, and we don't want to bog them down with too many decisions, so we're just going to leave them with one action to take. Now he's doing this really cool thing with these onion rings. I love how he's using Marshmallow or the character to really break the composition and have that contrast. That vertical line, and having him be on that vertical line really draws a lot of attention to him, and I think that's really cool use of the composition, or there's a word that I'm looking for and I forget what it is, but it's basically how lines or vertical lines make us look. As you guys can see, the workflow of how he's designed things, it's very important that he has his wireframe on one side and he has his high fidelity on the other, so he can kind of keep in mind what he wants to put together in the beginning and not just completely erasing what you've done in the past. Copying your artboards as you move forward allows you to not have to completely destroy your design over and over again. You have a copy of what you've done in the past, and you can easily go back to it, or at least save a version of what you wanted to move forward with, and you can always go back to if you wanted to. He's putting in some slider buttons, as you can see in the right hand corner, and he's now adding the slider elements on that black side of the canvas. He's making the assets and putting them off the artboard so that he can basically pull that back in if he wants to later. Awesome, so now it looks like he's prototyping it, and this has totally changed in Adobe XD. Adobe XD now has the ability to do prototyping all on one artboard. This is how we didn't have to do it in the past. But again, Auto Animate makes prototyping absolutely simple and possible within just a couple of minutes, whereas in any other program they're either in multiple programs or you have to do it and it takes so much time. And here is the finished product. Fire. I hope you enjoyed what we did. This guy's name is Kaler. Just hit the title. All of his links will be there, from his Instagram to his YouTube. But I hope you guys enjoyed this new segment. I really think that this, just watching the process of some of the greats out here on the internet, seeing their process and adding some of my commentary to it so that you guys can see not just what is happening, but also what is important to gain from watching the process. So with that said, leave me or us, the community, comment down below. I'd really love to hear what you guys all think about this type of video, my new setup, and my nice earrings. No, I'm just playing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a good ass day. And your boy, Brandon Groce, your favorite designer and hype beast, out here on Instagram. Out. Peace. What is going on, guys? It is your boy, Brandon Groce. This is your boy, Brandon Groce.